The bookshop on Harbor Street. Every year, on the same day, Elena visited the same small bookshop. It sat at the end of Harbor Street, where the smell of salt water mixed with old paper. The bell above the door always rang the same way. And every year, on that exact day, a man was always there. His name was Daniel. They never planned to meet. It just happened. Every year, on the 3rd of June, Elena would walk in, and Daniel would already be standing by the poetry section, like he was waiting. The first year, they talked for hours about a book neither of them had actually read. The second year, he remembered her coffee order without asking. By the third year, Elena started to feel something she couldn't explain, like she already knew him somehow, from somewhere deeper than memory. "Why do you always come on this exact day?" she finally asked him on their 4th meeting. Daniel smiled, but his eyes looked sad. "I don't really know," he said. "I just feel like I'm supposed to be here." Elena laughed. "That's a strange way to plan a life." "Maybe," he said quietly, "but some feelings don't need a reason." That year, something changed. They talked until the shop closed. He walked her home under the streetlights. And right before she opened her door, Daniel took her hand and said, "I feel like I've done this before." Elena's heart pounded. "Done what?" "This," he whispered. "Falling for you." She should have felt happy. Instead, a strange chill ran down her spine. The next morning, Elena couldn't stop thinking about his words. She decided to do something she had never done before. She asked the old bookshop owner, Mr. Whitfield, about Daniel. Mr. Whitfield's face went pale. "Daniel?" he said slowly. "You mean you've seen him?" "Yes, every year on June 3rd. We always meet here." The old man sat down heavily in his chair. "Elena, Daniel died 4 years ago, on June 2nd. A car accident, right outside this shop." Elena felt the world tilt beneath her feet. "That's impossible. I just spoke to him last night." Mr. Whitfield's hands trembled as he reached under the counter and pulled out an old photograph. It showed a young couple standing exactly where the poetry section was now. Daniel and a woman who looked exactly like Elena. "This is my daughter," he said softly. Her name was also Elena. Daniel was going to marry her. He came to this shop every June 3rd to buy her a book of poems, their tradition since they first met years before. He never got the chance to give her the last one. Elena's hands shook as she stared at the photograph. "But I'm not her. I only moved to this town 3 years ago." Mr. Whitfield looked at her for a long moment, and slowly he turned the photograph over. On the back, in fading ink, was a name: Elena Marlowe. Elena stared, whispering hollowly, That's my name. My daughter, the old man said quietly, was your mother's twin sister. She disappeared the night after Daniel's funeral, broken-hearted, and no one in the family ever spoke of her again. We didn't even know she'd had a daughter. Until now. Elena's chest tightened as pieces of her past, a mother who never spoke of her family, an old photograph she never understood, a strange pull toward this town she'd never visited before, suddenly began to make terrible, beautiful sense. She looked toward the poetry section, half expecting, half hoping to see him standing there one more time. The shelf was empty, but sitting on top of it, where no book had been an hour ago, was a single worn poetry book. And tucked inside the front cover, in handwriting she somehow recognized, were 4 words. I finally found you.